deep diving on is all also part of that block, because like I guess there's still a part of me that feels like I don't deserve it.
Don't deserve what?
Any of it. Which I think is why it was like slightly triggering when JC told me that I deserved this room, because like there's the inner knowing, like I know I deserve it, like I know I deserve to not be out on the streets and suffering. And then there's another part of my brain, which is probably just the victim part, that's like, I do deserve to suffer. But then my heart is like, for what? Like, you have literally done nothing wrong. Like, you've literally done nothing but be yourself and continue to learn yourself.
Well, then I would say that heart voice is your authentic voice, and the other voices are part of the matote that are projections or other people's, thoughts in your head that sound like yours, because all of everybody's voice in our head is going to sound like our voice, which is why we think that it's our thoughts or our feelings or our, whatever. And so we say, I am afraid or I'm unworthy. And then your heart is like, no, you're absolutely worthy. So your heart is your true self telling you the truth. And it's not your fear, it's not your vulnerability, it's the projections of the matrix and your programming and conditioning of your upbringing telling you that you have to earn and you have to deserve this or that.
Or you have to work for this or that.
That's part of earning it.
Yeah, being in receptivity is not for the weak. It is not a walk in the park. And I know I've been asking for it. It's so fucking goofy. And it's part of marrying the mind and the heart, and that's definitely what I've been going through a lot this rising, especially, is just
some serious marriage counseling.
Some serious marriage counseling.
Or not, what is it, pre-marriage,
the premarital counseling.
Yeah.
Well, no, we've made it into like the first like month of marriage, and now we're beefing again. So it's like it is marriage counseling for real this time.
Okay.
Yeah, we got married a couple months ago. We've been beefing it.
We're adjusting. We're adjusting.
We're like, new energy.
That actually makes a lot of sense.
Okay.
I can completely understand that. Because there are definitely times where I can feel like I can almost like hear and feel my inner child like trying to like figure out like what to do, like if I'm like trying to like make a decision or something, and I can feel my inner child like being like, okay, well, is this or is it that? And it's like my heart is like the divine mother and my mind is the divine father, and there are these moments where I can like hear my fucking self be like, go ask your father, go ask your mother, I don't know, go ask your father, I don't know, go ask your mother. And I'm like, bro, we're all the same. Like, we have to get an agreement here.
That's why I was up and down, and you were like, are you okay? I'm like, I don't know, mommy and daddy are fighting, like I don't know if dad's about to sleep on the couch or mom is.
Right.
Right.
I don't know if mom's going to the sheep shed. Dad's going to the garage. And I'm just watching a movie on the couch. Like, okay. No, I get that though. And I've definitely, like, it's taken me a long time to come to that place of trusting in my innate worthiness. Because that's what it really comes down to, is the self-worth. And just the innate knowing that we are worthy. And being worthy, when I say being worthy, I do not mean that to be misconstrued with entitled. But that we are worthy of everything we desire. And it doesn't sound like you desire to be in suffering.
No. Do you know how hard that is to accept, though?
Yeah, I do.
Like, it is so... And, like... And as much as hanging out with JC was great yesterday, I knew it was going to be triggering in the senses that I wasn't used to. And, like, I felt that initial, like, wave after, like, I got out of his truck. And I was just like, what the fuck am I even triggered by? We didn't even, like, do anything like that, you know? But there was a lot said that was just, it was just another, like, it was another love bubble that I, like, was not, like, I was ready for it, like, I'm ready for it, but, like, I wasn't all at the same time.
Well, and you keep saying triggered, and I'm not sure that it's triggered. I think what I'm hearing is, and what I've witnessed, is every time you receive a new dose, so to speak, of unconditional love, it's not that it's triggering you like into fight or flight mode. It is stirring up, and that light is stirring up and illuminating emotional things that you've still had kind of suppressed or trying to keep at the bottom. And I'm literally seeing the moon on the water card in my mind's eye right now. Like, that love light is shined a flashlight into your pool of emotions, and
I'm like,
and I now, like, and you walked in the door with it.
yeah.
Like, you walked in the door with it, and that's why I didn't, like, and I'm sure you probably felt a little attacked, but I was just like, nah, bro. No, like, we're gonna address this, because first and foremost, if I just sit by idly and enable you to just fucking spin in that, all I'm gonna do is watch you self-sabotage again.
Right.
And we've promised each other that we're not gonna sit idly by and watch each other self-sabotage.
Facts.
So it's not. I don't think trigger is the right word.
No, that resonates more.
You know.
I just couldn't think of like another word, and triggered is just like that common word that just hits that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because like, you're not wrong. Like, I wasn't like triggered in a sense of like fight or flight, and there was a point where I like felt that, like, because I was feeling all the love, like I was trying to like take it out somewhere, like in like an adrenaline rush manner. Like, I was looking for like rushes, and I don't know if it was just from feeling the high, but like it was kind of weird.
I don't fully understand what you mean by trying to find like
I guess the fear of it going away.
Uh-huh.
Damn. Creates me dopamine seeking.
Yep. Because you're not just accepting and enjoying the energy in the exchange, you're looking for the tangible things that are bringing joy.
Because I caught myself at one moment yesterday, like, looking for, like, an adrenaline rush, and I was just like, this doesn't even fully feel right. Like, it didn't feel right to, like, want to go, like, I don't know, like, I was really content riding in the car, and then, like, it's probably because I was just, like, literally sitting in that feeling. Like, literally.
Yeah, it's a brand new feeling. You were sitting in peace and love and comfort.
Yeah.
When when all of your past experiences in romantic relationships have been toxic, starting off with love bombing, and definitely both of you dopamine seeking. Like,
which is why we would have sex, like, within the first week.
Right. Right, because
Even
you guys you were each other's drugs.
Right. Yeah, I'm not trying to just, like, find my next fix. And I'm not trying to find a medicine either. I am my own medicine. and my own fix. Yeah, the self-worth stuff is definitely kicking my ass right now. Not kicking my ass. I can't say it's kicking my ass because it has gotten easier every time I've come back to the box. But this last, like, tail end of this box is scary.
And I think part of your problem is you, like, do you have any idea how many times you've said this last piece, this tail end, this last piece, this tail end?
Is there even a last piece or tail end? Okay, so there's no last piece or tail end. So this new part of the box that I am discovering. This new part of the box I'm discovering is really like the red and blue sweatshirt. Like I feel like I'm like I feel like I'm just like in this place of like organizing my brain right now, and it's like a little like I've got the pile on the floor, and like I've separated the pile into sections, and now it's just kind of like, what do I want to do with this stuff? Like, do I even want to do I need to keep all of it? Do I need it? Like, it's like purging. It's like physically purging. Like when we go through and like get rid of a bunch of stuff. Like that's what I feel like my brain is doing right now.
I remember being in that spot.
It's weird.
My question, if curiosity is, what question are you asking yourself when you're sorting through that as far as keep or toss?
Well, the first question I ask is, I honestly kind of break it down like how I break down getting rid of stuff if like I've attached to it. So like it's more of like, have I used this in 6 months? And then like going like deeper than that, and then I'll be like, okay, well, if I haven't touched this specific item in that long, then why am I still holding on to it? Like why is this thought or feeling, why am I still holding on to this if it's not relevant to my current reality?
Yeah, but it might not be relevant to your current reality. It might be relevant to your next reality.
Right.
So with tangible things, that might be something, like that's one thing, but with your thoughts, your mind.
And it's been also like asking myself a question of like, is this even authentic to me?
That's the question to be asking. That's the only question to be asking. Is this mine? Is this an authentic thought, belief, feeling of mine? And if it's a no, do I authentically believe this? No, out the door.
Out the door.
It's mine. Is it serving my highest good? Is this thought, feeling, belief, trajectory, pushing me forward in growth and love? Or is this thought, feeling, or belief keeping me stuck?
Right.
It's keeping me stuck, out the fucking dope. It's helping me grow, love, evolve, it stays. And then in the place, if you get to a place where you recognize that it's not your thought, feeling, or belief, but that you have been believing it, then you ask yourself, what do I have to believe about myself to believe that this is true?
You know when you were saying you wanted your whiteboard to like...
Yes!
I do too. And because
I'm so tempted to get dry erase markers and write on that glass. But I'm not because I respect stuff in space, but the temptation is there. Let me not deny that. Or to even write on the mirror on the other side. Like,
for real.
Like, we got 3 mirrors.
Because, like, I just, like...
the poor housekeeper would come in and be like, ay, Dios mío.
Because, listen, I know I went to therapy for all those years for a reason.
Therapy is not... Therapy
is not...
Like, 3D, like, matrix therapy, in my opinion, is a great foundation for the, like, practical information and knowledge about the brain and the psyche and the physical parts of it. Like I really feel like that gives a solid foundation for the healing journey of remembrance. And I'm not saying that there aren't therapists and counselors and stuff out there who obviously I see myself as one of those developing, so like but I do feel like there's like I got a lot of good solid nuggets of foundation to operate from. And I think I was like 9 when Janice pulled me out of therapy, like
Right.
and
That stuff sticks with you though. If you've got a good therapist, like what I've drawn right now is like what the cognitive therapist taught me, and this was like those circles I was telling you about. So you can break down into the root. And I was just thinking like girl, like if we're re-raising ourselves, like we might as well go back to the basics. Like even if it is breaking things down in your brain, So like we would start with the outer fears, right? So like for example,
is outer fears like the ones that are closest to the surface?
yes.
Okay.
So like you start with like what's initially coming to your brain. So like shame or distrust or self-worth. And then like how he did it is he would start with like one.
Mm-hmm.
So like if it was like distress, so then you would break down each layer until you got to the root of why you have that initial distrust. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And so like one that always came to my brain was one day I was having some drama with, you know what, we can use a current example. So my self-worth and then in this middle one, like where do those fears try to come up? So like self-worth in relationships, work, friendship. Oh, I guess it's still relationships. So it's really just relationships and work for me right now.
Which work is still a relationship, still relationships.
So it's really just relationships.
Right. Because if you have self-worth issues, then you're going to have issues relating with other people.
Right. And so, breaking the relationships down more, that comes in at work and home and socializing. And self-worth is really just like, for me at least, just like not feeling worthy of like being yourself. Like, and the root of that it really just does come from me, like the rejection sensitivity, like that rejection was so like so tight that like even with you, that's why I struggle with being accepted. And I think that's why even like when I walked in yesterday with like that slight feeling of secrecy, like I wasn't even trying to be secret with you, like,
but you were trying not to be completely transparent either.
right. And like I was recognizing that with myself, and I was even like, girl, like what the fuck is going on? Like we just talked about this rising like before we left with ourselves. Like, come on now, you know what I mean? Like,
well, and what I've known from my personal perspective and the time that we've been together, and is what I keep seeing happen is when you don't know how to process or even feel or express new feelings,
I feel like I just need to.
you refuse to, like, it's where I keep watching your ego come up and refuse to say I don't know, and refuse to say I don't know how to feel about this, can you help me, or can you at least listen to me about it until
Right.
I can figure out how the fuck I actually feel about it. Like, I mean, where it baffles me on a personal level is like, and I don't take it, I want to say, like, it's not that I take it personally, but where I, like, kind of, you catch me standing there and, like, I'm sure looking straight fucking can it be used, is, like, because in my brain, I'm like, why is she still struggling to just be so transparent with me? Like, this woman who watches me lose my fucking shit and process through it, like,
Every day.
every day. Like, this woman has been watching me just fucking be so fucking naked and transparent, you know, like, even yet, like, and I think about, like, yesterday when you brought home my second deck of cards and, like, that energy came in and I had to just, like, I had no idea how to articulate what was coming out, and I just had to mind over matter, just let it flow and trust in the unconditional love that is in our relationship that we have, you know, cultivated and established, and just knowing that I can be vulnerable with you and that you're not going to take it personally, and that, and whatever point in that verbal blah, you know, one or both of us is going to be like, that. Okay, that's what we needed to come out. The rest of it swept out the door and into the fucking, you know, trash can. That's the nugget that needed to come out. And I just got the imagery in my head of, like, when somebody swallows a key and they have to make themselves vomit to get that key out.
Right. No, it's literally like that, though.
You know, so, like, and don't think that there wasn't that part of my brain that was trying to come up and whilst I'm talking, and that's there, you know, that my fear is actively, like, trying to be like, she's gonna fucking hate you, she's gonna fucking leave you, this is the end of your fucking friendship, like, you're a douchebag and she just fucking saw it, you know, trust me, like, but that's where I, like, nah, like, those are not my thoughts, those are not my beliefs. Those are old projections trying to come in from an old place of anxious attachment and codependency. And guess what? You didn't freak out. You didn't end our relationship. You didn't tell me to go pound you know what up you know where. You were like, girl, I already knew. I was waiting for you to figure it out. Cool, well, I just did, and I had to freak out about it because it was really weird and uncomfortable. Because I have, coming from such a long history of people pleasing, and also being a healer, which has this innate desire to, like, give and sacrifice, I still am working and practicing, like, even stuff like I'm good at my basic needs and making sure that those get met, you know, like, I make sure I have a place to, you know, sleep and shower and brush my teeth and food to eat or whatever, like, those basic needs, I'm good at that. I still struggle with not oversharing, and even though, like, it's not coming from a place, it no longer comes from, like, a people pleasing place of, like, if I give you this then you're gonna stay. It's genuinely this, like, I love this thing, this fucking thing is amazing for me, like, I want you to have this amazing experience too. And it's where and I also, you have to keep in mind too, for me, I have I grew up with single child or only child mentality. I didn't even have anybody around to even learn to share with. Even though I always wanted to be sharing, and there was no one to share with. And so it's like, there's this, like, that part of my inner child, like, as I gain things to be able to share as an adult, I have to kind of keep her reined in a little bit and then, like, boo, we can't, if we give all of this away to all of our friends, then we're going to come home with a 10-cent sucker and trade for a $15 headband.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then be told we got to come clean somebody's house to get that sucker.
Right.
Right? Because I'm thinking about that video of that mom, right? And so, like, and so like it was an opportunity really to and it blew my, like, it opened up that mind, and it was a key point for me to really understand and come back to the place that I have these great toys. I love playing with these toys. They are fucking amazing. I think they're the best fucking things ever. And I want to share this amazing feeling and the joy that they bring me with other people. And I can do that without giving up mine. I
Right.
can share, what I have and still not give it away.
Right.
You know?
Confirmation.
Like, just because I have a deep personal connection with, a deck of my tarot cards doesn't mean nobody else can touch them.
Right.
Now, because that is something personally valuable to me, there's going to be boundaries around it. I'm not going to just go hand that deck to anybody and everybody and be like, here, put your grubby little dirty energy all over it. Just the same as me.
Right.
I am that deck of cards. And so if I'm not going to go around letting everybody put their grubby little hands on it,
Right. So you said something about the single child, right, and being a solo child, which made me kind of wrap it down because obviously I didn't have that experience.
right?
I had siblings, so I was forced to give all the time. I never was allowed to keep anything for myself, which goes into more about the self-worth.
Because that told your little brain that you were not worthy of actually having anything.
Yep. Anything. Like, even with my mom wanting to date my boyfriends. Like, if we really want to get down and dirty with it, like, it was creepy as fuck when she told me she had that dream of fucking my boyfriend. And it happened with every single boyfriend. So at one point I was like, are you dreaming it, or are you just, like, manifesting it? Like, are you just thinking about it? Anyways, but not even with that, but, like you were saying how, like, because you didn't, like, have anyone to really share with, like, you wanted to constantly be sharing. And I realized that damn, that's why my cup can get so empty so fucking quick.
That's why I came back crying from giving dude $4 and some laundry soap and dryer sheets to do laundry.
Yeah.
Because he was willing to receive the love that I had to give. It wasn't about the fucking laundry. It wasn't about
Right.
the soap. It wasn't about
Right.
the dryer sheets. It was, he was in need. I could meet that need, and I was moved to tears because so often in my experience in the past, I have this love to give, and it was not and would not be received.
Right.
And so to have it received, like, it's literally like a fucking childhood dream come true.
Right.
You know?
And you were so excited. It was beautiful. I was just like, I am so happy for you. I stayed asleep because I knew where my energy was, and I didn't want to burst your bubble.
You know, and it's not, it's just genuine. Like, and some of it is from that place of, not having people around me growing up that, saw my needs, and were willing or able to meet them, But I think that's that's the beauty of the journey of growth and love and healing is it's not, to not do it from an ego place, but to to get to that place where we give to give ourselves and parent ourselves to that place of unconditional love and abundance, and then we're able to give that,
Right.
Like, dude wasn't in need because he was not in self-love and not taking care of himself. Like, he had the means and he had the resources to take care of himself. Just so happened the resources he had were not accepted resources in the situation where he needed.
Right.
So he needed a bridge.
Right.
He needed an energetic translation of his electronic, non-tangible 5D money, and he needed that translated into 3D money.
Right.
That's it. Like, you know? And fear tried to come up. You know, fear tried to come up and be like, you nosy fucking tea-sipping bitch. And then I was like, no, I am not a nosy tea-sipping bitch. I am highly observant. Extremely tuned in. And the fact that... Because he never said nothing about laundry.
Right.
He never said any words about laundry. What I heard with these cute little things was the manager explaining that she wasn't going to be able to go to the bank and get any cash for the drawer until the afternoon when her relief came in. And I heard him respond, okay, no big deal, I'll just wait another day.
Right.
I tuned in and heard that he is trying to do laundry. And I was like, well, I definitely got 5 ones in cash. And we've been in that place where we've, you know, like, and it's that you know, recognizing, like, again, like, recognize that need. Like, he wasn't going to die if he didn't wash his clothes today.
Right.
But he is in a, you know, he was clearly trying to, you know, he was in a self-loving place and needed a fucking hand.
Right.
And I was like, bet. And so I had to swallow that fear and just kind of lean over and I was like, excuse me, like, not trying to eavesdrop. I was like, were you trying to get, like, cash for to do laundry? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, and then I was just like, well, I'm pretty sure I've got cash in my room. I was like, and go grab it, like, give me a second, let me go see, you know, like.
Right.
It's just, it's such a genuine heart desire for me, like, and it's so fucking filling, like, it's so fulfilling, you know, and it is kind of, like, weird because, like, it's so exciting and so fulfilling that my, like, inner child gets so excited and, like, she'll just be like, let's go give everybody $5 for laundry, like, you know, like, and I know that that's not necessarily, like, the way to necessarily, like, our mission, but, like, it's just, like,
I know what you mean.
but, like, she gets excited, she's like, all right, who else needs to do some laundry today? I got soap and I got dryer sheets and I got some quarters or whatever, you know, like.
Laundry party.
Exactly, you know. And it does excite me and get my wheels, you know, turning about different unique ways that, you know, I can give back and show that love. You know, like,
I want to start a laundromat, oddly enough.
Well, that's what I'm saying, like, maybe, you know, whether start a laundromat or, like, I was just, like, even my brain was thinking about, you know, like, going and getting, like, $100 worth of quarters, you know, and
right.
just fucking, like, sneaking into the laundromat and fucking, you know, just fucking being in the laundromat and paying for people's stuff.
Right.
You know,
laundry fairies.
You know, just stuff like, you know, just because it is, like, it doesn't always have to be some magnanimous
right.
show, you know, like, it's so often, like, the little things mean so much because they plant seeds.
Right.
And those seeds grow and spread, you know, like, I don't know how that gentleman's going to end up paying that forward. But I know that energy is going to, you know, keep on trucking down the line to wherever it goes.
Right.
You know? It's great. I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. And it was, like, and there is, like, this... And part of it is, like, the being pulled, you know, like, so to speak, and, like, listen, being tapped in. So, like, because I had gotten up, you know, and I was like, I really didn't want to go over to the gas station to get a coffee this rising. And then I was, like, sitting here for a moment. I was like, do I even want coffee? And I was like, or do I want a tea? And I was like, And I couldn't really decide if I wanted tea or coffee. And I was just like, well, let me just go down to the lobby and make my life decision there. You know? Like,
when it's right in your face.
Right.
And then you end up bringing back, like, apple juice or something.
I did bring back an apple. But yeah, I got over there to the coffee, like, to this drink station, and I was like, yeah, and then they had a different creamer than they had the other day, and so I was like, yeah, I want coffee. I want to try that creamer, blah blah blah, and then and boom, there it is, and like, I used to think I was crazy in those moments, and I used to think that I was nosy and intrusive and pushy, and I now understand that it's literally just me being that tapped in and my willingness to listen and follow the call. And then I discovered and then when I went to go to the store after that, I just really felt pulled to go out the back side of the building and not walk out and around. And at first I was like, are we afraid to like go past the warming center? And I was like, no. Why the fuck would we, like, no, we're definitely not afraid to go past the warming center. And I was like, okay, so it's not fear, so let's go.